I'm ready to move my business differently. Somebody said to me, and of course it's an old thing that everyone says, but is like, the definition of insanity is you keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And I've been doing the same thing for a long time, and I'm getting the same result, which is barely breaking even.
Okay.
And so I think what I want to do is I want to try to sell my company and me alongside with it, like either as a consultant or as an employee or something. But I want to pitch my company to like a big bike company that will get the value of tapping into this new market.
Okay.
And get the value of me with it.
Okay. Okay. I'm curious, can we talk about that for a minute? We're not actually coaching yet.
Okay, cool.
I'm just curious. Have you done a business valuation? Do you know, in other words?
I haven't, I have looked at them. My business actually has very little value as a business. And because I don't have a proprietary product, I make very, very little money, and so there's not a lot to sell. The only thing of real value is me and my approach to this market, because most people, when they think of heavy people, they think, let's fix them.
Yeah.
And instead of let's help them where they're at. Let them be human beings like they, of course, want to be.
Yeah.
And so it's another approach. And I think that, in the bike industry, at least, it was very interesting. I went to a bike trade show in September. And for the first time, I heard people in the industry talking about heavy people. So the awareness is getting there. And if I keep up at my pace, I will get left in the dust. There is no doubt in my mind. It's in the bicycle industry. It's like mega companies that make the money. It's too hard to make a bike unless you really have the funds to build them in Taiwan or China and get them distributed. So I've tried to find partners. Nobody's really interested in partnering with a small bike company because they don't make money. So now I just want to sell my soul.
Okay. What if your business could make money? Would you still want to sell it?
No, not necessarily. What I would really like, though, is and this is my second thing, if I can't find a big guy that wants to just kind of buy it, what I really would like to find is somebody that wants to partner with me, that wants to take over the ownership of actually doing the manufacturing, because I've never liked that part. I have no skills in that area. It's kind of something that I have to do to be able to do the rest of what I do, which is marketing to this population.
Okay.
So yes, there's a lot I love about having my own business, but it's frustrating because I'm not even making money. So
yeah. Okay. So the real issue is making money.
It is, but it's not. It doesn't have to be like immediate. Like I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday. She goes, "Just get a job," and I'm like, "Well, do you think I could do that and still keep the business?" And she's like, why would you want to if you need money? I said, well, it's more like I want to know that money is going to come in. It doesn't have to be tomorrow I have to have money, but I have to know that this is a viable business solution, which it has not proven to be.
Okay. All right. Have you gotten to the heart of why?
I think I just explained it to you. It's really, really hard to make money. And if I had some money, I could invest. I could buy bikes up ahead. I think that would make a huge difference because customers don't want to wait and they have to wait when they order from me. It's all very, rob Peter to pay Paul. That's the way I've been running my business,
So you're saying
which
that
is,
if you had the money to invest in inventory and you could turn it around and have quick cash flow, would you be doing it on margin, or is each bike actually profitable?
um, each bike is profitable. It's not immensely profitable, but each bike is profitable.
Okay.
Of course, if I had to buy a whole bunch of them at once, then it might change the picture, but the thing is, I could get them for so much cheaper.
Exactly.
Like I sell my bikes for like $2,300 for my top of the line bikes. They probably cost me, by the time everything's done, um, and all the shipping back and forth that I have to do, because of course I don't have a facility, it probably costs me 1,800, 1,900 even.
Okay, so we're not
And
charging
so,
for the bikes.
right. But I can't, I mean, the market will only bear so much. As it is, the market is complaining, and now people are starting to, bike manufacturers are starting to get with it, and so they're going to start building these.
Okay.
And when they do, they're going to be able to slaughter me with prices.
Okay, got it. All right, got it. All right. So now I have a sense of where you're at. You can choose anything you want to be coached on. It doesn't even have to be what you said you wanted to be coached on. It's all up to you. My intention, by the way, is if we capture something in this video that's worth using, we can, but we want to, because we want to show people the value of coaching or what coaching is. But if none of it's usable, it doesn't matter. My intention is still to make a difference for you today. Okay.
Thank you. Okay. I mean, I think what I would like to do, I would like to practice giving pitches to companies to make them interested in what I've got to offer in terms of product idea, and then me as a marketing resource, or whatever you want to call it, for this idea.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you want to practice pitching to those kind of companies. Would you also like to practice pitching to potential manufacturer or a partner?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, definitely.
And a lot of people have a different idea when we talk about pitching. So when you talk about pitching, what exactly do you mean?
I want to present. I want to present about me and my company, and I want them to get a good idea of who I am by this introduction and what I can offer them.
And can you give me any more information? Have you already started this conversation with certain people?
I presented it to one company, a distributor. I met with this guy at Interbike. Actually, it was a manager, a regional manager, that said he thought they would do it. Then I met with the main guy at Interbike, and then I followed up with an email, and then I got an email back saying, yeah, I don't think we can make it work.
Okay.
It's like, oh, okay.
Is there any, so did you get any more information about why they said that?
He said he didn't think it could be a profitable partnership. And he said that, and because he's too overworked and they don't have time to commit to this.
Okay. Okay. So they didn't see the value of how it would increase their overall business and
exactly
make money. Okay. 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 What would you like to get from this conversation when you hang up the phone or click off the video?
I would like to feel comfortable. I mean, I know that my next step is contacting some of these companies, and I would like to have a certain amount of confidence that I can call them and I can express myself in a way that isn't going, and that they'll be able to hear what I have to say. I mean, I can't control what they hear, but I can control how I present it.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to do.
And you want to feel good about it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So how will we know we got you there by the end of this session?
I guess if I can do it, we can do a trial and we'll see if I can do it. I
Okay.
mean,
And how we know,
granted,
how will we know you feel comfortable with it?
I mean, the answers are not the right answers. I know this because I mean, I'll just feel if it feels right or not, but that's not an answer.
It's an answer. No need to edit this. So where would you feel this? If you feel
My
comfortable
gut, I would
with
feel
it,
it, yeah,
and is
yeah.
there anything you wouldn't be feeling?
I wouldn't be feeling sick to my stomach when I think about doing it.
Okay, so you would feel um, calm in your area, in your stomach area.
Calm, maybe even a little excited.
Okay,
I mean, because I want to be excited about it because I think it's an exciting prospect, but I don't think I present it yet in a way that's exciting.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
What do you think is in the way of you really being able to present this in a way that's exciting for you and engaging for the person listening?
I have a lot of preconceived notions of what they're going to think,
Mm,
um, and which is all negative. I hate salespeople, so I don't want anyone, I don't like to be sold, so I think that they're going to feel the same way. Um, I realized today when I was doing some contemplating on this, I don't have a history of really making money. And I have a lot of fear around that. So, maybe they'll say yes. And then what would I do with myself? I mean, there's like accepting that piece.
okay,
Um, and and I also know that I get tongue tied,
okay,
especially when something's important to me. I tend to trip over my own self.
okay, okay.
So,
So, what's been in the way of you fully being excited and enthusiastic about this and being able to present it in the way that you would like and have people be engaged in what you have to say is the past.
yes,
Okay. Like your past ideas about what people will say, your past ideas about yourself, your past ideas about how you relate to money, the
yes,
past. Okay. All
right.
right. So, then let's talk about your vision.
Okay.
Okay. This goes exactly the way you want it to go. And we're going to use your imagination. You can close your eyes. Don't worry about being on video or anything.
Okay.
Um, Deep breath, because when you use your imagination, this goes exactly the way you want it to go. It's a
Okay.
year from now, and you're talking to that friend, the one you mentioned earlier that you were talking to about a job or what you wanted to do with the business. So you're
Hmm.
talking to her and sharing about how great this is. Tell me what you see and what you say.
It's perfect. They are building these bikes, and I don't even have to think about the quality because I know they're taking care of it. Um, they use me as a resource for things that might be important for the population, but they don't. I don't need to worry about building it.
Mhm.
I'm consulting for their marketing department and reaching out to these customers. I'm providing trainings to their trainers that go out all over the world to increase basically fat people awareness and sensitivity. I'm helping really get the bikes out to a greater population, and that's really what this was all about in the first place. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah. And so what I heard you say is that the bikes are being built in their quality, and that's no longer part of what you do. And what you are doing is working with business development with the marketing out there, like being a representative, being a resource, offering consulting, training, and awareness, raising the awareness of the general population around what's needed. And you
Yeah.
said, yeah, okay, okay. Um, and because you now have this, remember you're talking to me from the future, because you now have this, what impact has that had on your life?
It's a mixed bag. I'm still pretty busy because I'm going, doing a lot of trainings and stuff,
Hmm.
but I don't have as much stress because I don't have to worry about these damn bikes. And I don't have to worry about letting down my customers, which I really care about for
Yeah,
some reason. I mean, I know they're getting a great product and
yeah.
I know that I can really reach more people. So my life right now, it's busy and it's
Stay in the
probably
future. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking right now in the
Good,
future.
good.
Okay. I'm thinking, right now it's busy and I don't want to keep up this pace for a long time, but for a few years I'm excited that I'm be able to do this and get this out. So,
Why has this really mattered to you? Here you are now in this place where you've invented this product, you've now handed off the manufacturing of it and the customer service, all of that, and now you're out being a rep for this. Why does this matter to you?
that's really the million dollar question. I'm trying to figure out why it matters so much to me, why I don't want to give it up. Um, I mean, like I can get into real um, moral almost issues, which I mean, I really feel that fat people are the last legally discriminated group. And I really believe that. And so that because I'm a fat person, obviously I don't like that. I guess that's not obvious, but I don't like it and I want to change it. And this is a way that I can do that without, with by helping other people. And I also, I mean, the jobs I've always liked best have been like helping people. That's what I do. So,
And what is it you see possible for the world or our community because you did this work?
I see people of all sizes being able to do anything, anything their bodies will let them want to do. I mean, they'll be able to go to a bike store and get a bike and ride it down the street as opposed to being terrified that they're going to crush the wheels and it's going to break and they're going to get killed going down a hill. I see people being able to, get rollerblades. I see people being able to walk into a waiting room and have a chair that fits them. I mean, just an awareness of size acceptance and just not. I mean, initially it's going to be helping people just be in themselves, but also so societally. So, well, yeah, in society.
Love new words. Yeah.
I would like more size acceptance, basically. Yeah.
And interesting thing that I see from this is like this could change the conversation about how we view being overweight or being heavy, and in that acceptance in and of itself could be part of the healing.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is, I mean, I have to say that most of the people that buy my bikes buy them because they want to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's how they justify paying the price. I mean, occasionally I'll get somebody who's just like, oh God, I've missed bike riding. I'm so excited to be able to get a bike. But usually it's because they've decided they're going to lose weight. And for me, I'm not one of those Nazis like, well, you should never lose weight. If you want to lose weight, that's great. If you don't want to lose weight, that's great. Just like, let this person live in her body or his body and just, allow him or her to accept him or herself and let society just lay off and accept them. That's just so basic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. It's a very loving reason, the reason you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it is. I mean, it's truly done. God knows it hasn't been done as a money-making venture, but I would like to make money from it, but it's really done because I think it's really important.
How have you yourself healed because you took this on?
I'm able to talk about being fat without thinking it's a four-letter word, which is big. I'm more accepting of fat people. I mean, I am, because even me, who is a very large woman, still had prejudices. And so it's really good for me to be able to, I mean, I get to know some people. I mean, my customers are like just such treasures, and so you get to know these people and you're like, oh my gosh. And they're amazing people that are trapped in these bodies and right now it's like they're trapped instead of they're just in these bodies.
Right.
I forget the question I was answering.
It's a great answer. It's how have you healed?
Oh, how have I healed? Yeah, I mean, I think I'm more accepting of myself and of people in general. I mean, it just has opened my eyes a little about, I've always just kind of like, this has been my world, and it's been, yes, you're bad, you're fat, but it's like, it's so much bigger. And there's really no reason on earth that people should be discriminated against because of their size, just like their color or
Yeah.
their sexual orientation. I mean, who the hell cares? It's
Yeah.
their life.
Yeah.
So,
So what I'm hearing you really wanting for people, and even all people, is acceptance, freedom to move, freedom
yeah,
to live their lives. And
right.
that's really what this is about for you.
Yes.
Okay. Can you write that down?
Okay, so what I'm looking for, what I want.
It's more about why you're doing it. Freedom for people. And I heard a lot around freedom of movement, freedom to choose how they move and do what they do. And
Okay.
and be accepted and accept others. Because that's been part of your healing as well.
Mm-hmm.
The bias wasn't just against yourself.
Mm-hmm. Also, one of the things that I know has allowed me to do this work, because the thing about, well, I guess it's many addictions, you think people don't know. But of course, when you're fat, of course they know, but you still think they don't, you know? And um, my husband is I mean, he loves me at any size, but he thinks large women are sexy. I mean, he thinks that it's much sexier. And so it's like kind of beating against a wall, because he'll tell me that I'm beautiful and blah blah blah, and it's like I still really don't believe it, but I think it's finally sunk in a little, because I've had the nerve to stand up and say, guess what? I'm fat and I deserve to have a bicycle. And you know what? You're fat and you deserve to have a bicycle. I mean, it doesn't mean that it's not okay. So,
And a man who loves you.
right.
Or
Right. And he
or
loves
to be
me in
loved.
any size or
Yeah.
shape, which is
Yeah.
pretty awesome. Yeah.
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 But that's actually what you're saying. That's what's important to you, is that people be loved
Yeah.
for being people. That this bias, this kind of work has the potential to actually change how we see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah. There was
I-
back in the early 70s, there's a man named Werner Erhard who started talking about ending world hunger, and he did it in San Francisco in this huge stadium. And he was very influential, so he got like 2,000 people into the stadium in San Francisco and started talking about ending world hunger. And most of them got up and walked out. Because at the time, the way that we looked at world hunger and the way we looked at people who were starving was, well, if those lazy people would just get off their ass and get a job and feed their children, right? We didn't understand the distribution issues and everything else that goes along with why children go hungry. And
Mhm.
because of the ignorance, people literally got up and walked out. But since then, of course, we've had thousands of projects and organizations be built on that first brave person who was willing to stand up and say, we can end world hunger.
Right.
And now that you're seeing, and what you told me earlier is you're seeing that there's this acceptance and people are starting to have some consciousness and some awareness around there's a real need here.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so you're at the beginning. What I want you to consider is you're at the beginning of a very large and new conversation that it's a time has come.
I do believe that. And again, this is the past, but there's a woman named Georgina Terry who started Terry Bicycles, and she was the first woman to first person to build a bicycle specifically for women. And at the time, people thought she was crazy. And what happened is eventually everyone realized, hey, there are women and they need something different on their bikes. And so now everybody does women's bikes. You go into a bike shop, at least a third of them are women's bikes. Well, Georgina Terry got left behind. I mean, she ended up having, like, actually the person that bought her company is in Burlington, Vermont. So I've talked to her, and Georgina like had over $250,000 of debt to her company, and she sold it. They've actually stopped making bicycles. They still make them so that they can have the name Terry Bicycles, but she got left behind, and that is what I don't want. I do not, after all the work I've put into this and how much I how important it is, and I think the marketing message is of acceptance
Mm-hmm.
and love, then I don't want to get shuffled to the back of the line here.
Yeah,
So
what I'm present to is it's really not about the bikes.
no, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
And that if this business did get taken out from under you right now, you would still have this
Hmm.
commitment to others.
Yes,
No one
that's
can take
true.
that from you.
One of the things I thought about doing was actually doing like consulting, marketing consulting in this field, but I think it's ahead of its time. I do. And I don't think, I don't know how to find that business. And it feels like I'm going to be like where I was with the bike 7 years ago, and I'm going to have to build that business. And, I'm trying to create some income along with my passion.
Okay, well, but we don't know if that's true or not. We
That's
don't know.
true.
We don't know if
Yep.
that's true. Back when I mean, I've been coaching for 15 years.
Hmm.
Not popular. Still isn't as, much more now. Much more legitimate coaching schools and training and bodies of organizations that certify and all that. But at the time, not popular, you know. And
Yeah.
thank God, you know,
Right.
because we wouldn't be
Right.
in existence right now. This company and now how many clients we serve, and then the coaches that work with us
Oh, I'm losing.
that have that, that have they tap into my 15 years of experience and the models and the reputation and all of those things. Just because you build it first doesn't mean there isn't money there. In fact, it was an immediate moneymaker for me.
Really?
Mhm.
You're a lot more savvy business-wise than I am, though.
I wasn't then. This is my
Huh?
third iteration of this business. This business has failed twice,
Yeah.
where I had to completely start over and remake it. But see, that's the thing we don't talk about. I've talked to too many successful people, and if I say, tell me about your worst failure, they always talk about losing $5 million or going bankrupt or having to start over again. Hands down, it happens every time. And so the one thing I remember when I'm speaking to a business owner is often that's part of the process. That businesses iterate the first 10 years. They're supposed to. As you learn more about what you're doing, why you're doing it, what you're offering, and who your market is, even your product might change, or your offering might change, or the name of your business might change, or your target market might change. And this business looks nothing like what it did 15 years ago. Nothing.
Hmm.
Nothing like what it did 15 years ago. And if we're willing to be flexible and learn from that versus look at, wow, this is a real failure. And I've been on the floor thinking it's a real failure. Okay. There
Hmm.
was a time in which I literally, when I niched the wrong market, I literally dumped over 2,000 names from my database and started over from 68 clients to 6. That was not a fun time for me. I was terrified. Okay. I had
Okay.
no guarantee that it would work out. And it was actually the smartest and best thing I ever done, which now is the reason I have the model I have now today. That's how I found it. I
Hmm.
realized it wasn't working, so I knew I needed to change it. So I just undid it, started thinking about what would work. Okay. So one of the things I've noticed about business owners that are really successful is they're willing to change. And what I love about what you're sharing is that we've gotten to the heart of what you do well, what you love, and we're starting to get to, which I want to explore next, is you know what knowledge do you have? What learning do you have now that you've done what you've done? In other words, your talents, your abilities, your skills, your learning. Can you kind of start to list that for me, given what you've been doing the last 7 years? Is that right? Yeah.
It's kind of it's a tough one for me because it's hard for me. I mean, like I know all the stuff about running a business, which running an online business, which is a lot of stuff that I never knew before. So, but that I don't even have to list because you know those. Like, but really, I don't. Oh, sorry, I don't like my answer. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Let's start
Right.
with what you want to do. You want to consult. You want to train. You want to raise awareness. You want to work
Yeah.
around business development. You want to be out in the public, being a speaker for this. It's almost a movement or a cause. But it can
Right.
be as a representative for someone who manufacturing the bicycles, right?
It can't be.
I said it can be, right?
It can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So if that's the case, then what have you learned that makes you really good at that?
I think I think people trust me. I've learned that being authentic is really important, and people get that I'm authentic. Um, I learned that being respectful, but that's not something new. But I mean, it underlines that being respectful of people of all sizes, is vitally important in everything you do. Um, I've I've learned to I'm learning, I wouldn't say I've really mastered this, but I'm learning how to integrate kind of statistics with business choices and business development, if you will, like talking about the number of obese people and why that's a viable market and why that shouldn't be ignored and that kind of thing. Um,
Okay, that's vital. Make sure you write that down, that you've learned about the market, um, the statistics, and how to integrate that with business choices, business development.
okay.
Keep going. What else have you learned? What would make you really good at being the consultant, the trainer, the person who raises awareness for the general public?
I know I'm good at talking to people. Like when I'm confident, you wouldn't know from the beginning of this conversation. But I mean, I feel like I can connect with people because I am authentic and I generally like people. And so there's that give and take, that flow. And I think so people will listen to me for the most part. And I've done a lot of well, I haven't done a lot. I have done training, and I think I'm pretty effective at it. So I I can like envision myself leading classes and how to just treat a heavy person when she walks into your store, so you don't send her out screaming and terrified because she wants to buy a bike. I mean, just like there's a lot of different things about just connecting with people, and it can be my customer or not my customer.
Okay. Okay. Um, what have you learned about teaching this?
I've learned that there's a big distinction between where a person is at physically right now and where they may want to be or think they are, and especially when I'm talking about that person, it's a bit of a path to present this person as someone who is whole and complete and at the same time may want to create change in his or her life, and that we want to support that. So I don't know if, again, I'm forgetting your questions. I'm sorry. This is why I
No,
need
but
to.
actually, this is really good. Okay, so here's what I heard, so you can write it down. What I heard is that you've learned some of the training that's needed. Is that people either view people who are overweight as not like there's something wrong with them, or the overweight people view themselves as something is wrong with them. And that what you've learned in training is that you can take someone from that place to actually seeing themselves as someone who is whole and complete, or seeing others as someone who's whole and complete. There's actually nothing wrong here. There's just something else they would like to see happen for themselves, or something else they would like to create in their lives. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay. That's a transformative course. That would be
Okay.
transformative for people. Even if you were working with retailers or you were working with people who had weight issues themselves, that would be transformative in and of itself.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Um, One of the things you said you wanted to do is business development, and I get the connection when you talk about that. You've learned how to integrate statistics. You've learned a lot about the market and the market need,
Mm-hmm.
and how to help businesses make choices. Can you expand on that a little bit more and tell me why a marketing company would want you on their side in around this topic?
Well, I recently heard the general manager of Giant Bicycles make a presentation. It was to an outdoor industries women's group at Interbike, and she said that once they brought a special women's section, which they call Live, I think, or Liz something. Anyway, at Giant, their sales went up 30% because they paid attention to women, and they made a special thing. And what I say is, we've got at least, and that's the low estimates of, depending on who's making the estimates, 30% of the population that is obese.
Yes.
Okay, at least. And yes, some of those people don't want to ride bikes, but you know what? Some women don't want to ride bikes. I mean, there's a lot of people there that would want to get active, or um, you know, buy your furniture or whatever it is that we're saying, but that maybe need some accommodations so that the product is right for them. But there is a huge market to tap into. You're talking of 30 to 50% of the population
Yeah.
that is categorized as obese. And that's just in America.
Yeah.
That's not even talking about the huge numbers in Canada, England, Australia, and Brazil. I mean, there's tons and tons of people that have countries that have major obesity problems.
Right.
And these are people.
Yeah. Clear.
Customers.
Clear. All right. All right. So now that we've got the whole purpose of this is, one, to get you present to your vision, what you do well, what you would like to create and have it look like before we even start this pitch conversation. You know, like, what is it you'd be pitching? To get you some clarity. Do you feel like you have some clarity right now?
Yes.
Okay.
And I tend to forget. So I like too much going on in my head. So I say yes. So if I sound like, if I go duh, it's because that's what I do. So.
Okay, well, I'm going to call bullshit on that, meaning
Oh,
that,
good.
yeah. So, again, that's past conversation.
That's what I
Maybe you
did.
don't need to know yourself so well.
Okay. That sounds good.
Meaning you don't need to know how you are about every little thing, and that you could actually stay present to what's possible here during this conversation. And that's my invitation to you, is to stay present to what's possible, who you are, and what you do well.
Okay.
Okay? And I've taken notes so I can remind you.
Grace.
Let's take the first type of person that you'd like to be able to talk to about this, and that would be companies who are actually interested in taking over the manufacturing of the bike, et cetera, and would allow you to stay involved and
Yes.
doing the things you like to do. Can you describe that type of customer to me? Have you met them before? What are their positions?
I think we're talking probably like of the, well, I'd go as high up in the company as I could, but probably the director of product development. I mean, I know I've met the general manager of Giant. I'm still trying to connect with her to talk to her. So as high up as I can go, but I would say probably the lowest would be the director of product development.
Director of product development. Okay. All right. So let's imagine you're talking to the director of product development. Tell me, what is it that they care about?
Can I make them money? I mean, well, like, okay, they agree to talk with me. What is your big idea that you think can make a significant difference in this business?
Okay. So they want to know that it can make money.
Right.
Okay. Can it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But I haven't proven that because I'm not making money, but I have the visitors to show that there is the interest.
Okay. So it can make money. As an aside, I want you to think about how you're going to show them it makes money.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one of the things you're going to need to do, but we're just trying to get our foot in the door, right?
Right. Okay.
So where would you likely meet this person? At an event or on the phone?
Well, right now, I think it would be a phone call first.
Okay. All right. All right. So you're in a phone call, and really all you're trying to do is get the appointment. Later, we're trying to show them the value. Yes?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
I want you to think again about what it is that they need to hear that's going to make them want the appointment. Is there anything else? So you don't need to convince them it's going to make them money up front, but you need them to give you an appointment. Why would they give you an appointment?
I've proven, I've basically proven that there is a market,
Mm-hmm.
an untapped market in this industry
Mm-hmm.
that controls at least a third of all the people, of basically customers we don't even have yet. So we, so, and I have learned how to um, work with them, market to them, interact with them so that I've built a level of trust and comfort with the brand that I represent.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like it so, but that's what I was. That's why I like
What do
stumbled.
you like about what you said?
Um, I don't think I want to talk about my brand too much, although I do want to convey that I'm like the secret sauce.
Okay.
Um,
So what I heard is you know the market, you know there's a market need. You you have built something. You can show there's a market need, and now you're looking for someone who can, you know, take over the manufacturing part and the quality part of production and want to have a conversation with them about that, right?
yes.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and let's just play with this for a minute, okay?
Okay.
So there's the intro, there's who you are, and then
Hmm.
there's what you do,
Hmm.
okay? And um, then there's what you're asking for. If you're going to talk about this as a formula, okay?
Hmm.
Maybe it's what you do and the benefit,
Okay.
okay?
Hmm.
So we're going to play. We're just going to play, you know, because the idea is you get comfortable. That means you'll probably be saying things over and over again until something hits.
Right.
Ready to play?
Okay.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. So
Okay.
go ahead and let's tell me about it. I'm this person. Go ahead and pitch it to me.
Okay. So thanks for taking a few minutes to meet with me. I really appreciate it. My name is Joan Denizot, and I am the founder of Zize Bikes. And Zize Bikes is a company that specializes in bikes for heavy people, so tall people and wider people. Um, and what I've discovered, my company is the first to market with this bikes for big people. And what I've discovered is that there is definitely a market, and I get over 30,000 hits a month on my website. Um, I have I have a tremendous amount of interest in the bikes, and I'm at a point where I can't meet the need as much as I would like to be able to, and I'm hoping that we could get together and talk about possibly helping you expand your business and grow a tremendous amount, and with me kind of guiding you through and introducing you and helping you work with this market.
Okay. So we're just trying to get the appointment. So I don't think you need to even put that piece in yet. Okay.
Okay.
What worked was the whole first part of the beginning. You used the word hope, and you didn't actually ask for anything. Okay. Um, your intros was beautiful. You explaining what you do exactly. Yes. Um, I I think, and then maybe explaining the benefit, and then there's something about how you position that. I wish I could rewind. I think your husband just came in. I wish I could rewind for a minute because there's something about how you position that and that you now need versus you're now looking to fill a void or looking to fill the need in a much larger
Right.
way.
Right.
You know, it's something like, you know, we're getting over 30,000 hits on our website. We know there's a need. We can't fill the need. There's a huge market for this. And so I'd like to talk to you about what the possibilities would be and being able to fill the need in this marketplace. And like something, you know, would you be willing to have a 1 hour appointment with me? something like that. I don't know if you need to go as far as what you would then do, like trying to get in when I want to be your consultant. That would all be part of later
Right.
conversations, later negotiations. And I just don't think it's necessary. Does that? And
Okay.
if it is, tell me why.
Right. Right. Well, it would obviously depend on the person's reception. If they're like, well, tell me about it, then maybe. But even then, I hear what you're saying is like, I'm probably getting ahead of myself. What I want to do is I just want to get them, oh, 30% increase in business. That's a lot for the bike industry. Let me tell you, it's
Okay,
huge.
use that number because you didn't use it the first time. So, okay, so go ahead and give it another shot.
Okay. So, hi, thanks for taking the time to meet with me. My name is Joan Denizot. I'm the founder of Zize Bikes, and we are the first company to introduce bikes for big people. And we have had tremendous success. We have over 30,000 site visitors a month, and there's an incredible need for people to be developing, to be providing bikes for heavier riders. What we've discovered is we can't keep up. And we would love to find somebody to work with us to bring more bikes to big people. And I was wondering if maybe we could sit down and have a meeting, a face-to-face, and
Let me stop
talk
you for a
about
second. Let's go
potentially
back.
working together.
I'm going to stop you for a second. Let's go back to the point where you said we can't keep up. I want you to turn that around and make it an opportunity versus something you can't do.
Okay.
So what would you say
Okay.
instead?
Um, we can't keep up. And you want me to make it an opportunity. We we would love to work with another company to help fill this incredible need.
Help is also from that place. So I think it's something like we want to fulfill the needs in this marketplace. Something like that, like
Right.
an affirmative statement.
Right.
Okay. We're looking
Right.
to figure out how to fill the need of the marketplace. And you might want to cite that statistic at that point. And then when you get to the ask, this is that you use the one around 30%.
Which statistic?
30%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We want to fill the need over 30%. Da, 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 da. We think we've just barely
Okay.
tapped this market. And we're
Right.
reaching out to you to have a conversation with you about what might be possible to be able to fill this need or something like that. And then make the ask. So you're getting strange when you get to the ask. And what I mean by strange is, okay, here's what I mean by strange. And this is at the core of the money, like really just asking for the appointment.
Okay.
Yeah. We're interested in talking to people who can partner with us to fill this need. Would you be willing to have a 1 hour conversation with us? Something like that. Okay. So it's not we hope to, not we'd like to, not we'd love to. It's an actual ask. It's an
So
ask when someone can say yes or no.
we're looking for people what did you say? We're looking for people to
Partner with, or we're looking for people who can um, um, support us in filling the market demand, or partner with and talk to about how to fill this market's demand, the demand in the marketplace, something like that, right?
okay.
You can say partner, you can say discuss, you can say collaborate. Here's what you need to remember, Joan. You're successful.
Yes,
You
I am.
Yeah, you actually are. First in the marketplace. And the whole other thing, about the money piece, it's a very common place where business owners get stuck. I would love to create a business in a box where you could just bring in a team and a group of money where it wasn't a VC, the way VCs do it, but it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you had that right at your ready, this would be a no-brainer. So you're a success. You've taken it to this point, and now this is just the next phase.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And you need to
Okay.
remember that in your pitch. Okay. This person is not doing you a favor.
Right.
You could potentially make them millions and millions of dollars, and and change a lot of people's lives.
So we're giving them an opportunity
It is
to
a
discuss this.
yes,
Yes.
yes, absolutely. Yeah, and it's not a it's a partnership. It's not a now you're giving them an opportunity. You'd be an idiot not to take it because that won't work either, right?
Yeah. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It's good. Yep.
Okay. So go ahead and give it to me because you're that close.
Okay. It's great to meet with you, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. I'm Joan Denizot. I am the founder of Zize Bikes, and we're the first company to focus on bikes for big riders. We 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 I'm sorry, I'm having a little mind cramp.
Just start over. I now understand what you do. Now give me a little backbone around the statistics of what you've discovered or
Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you. I knew there was something. I'm sorry. So what we found is that this company, my company, which is online only, attracts over 30,000 visitors a month. And we really have found that we can't keep up with the demand for the bicycles. We're looking to talk to some people who are interested in maybe partnering with us to help meet this demand. And I was wondering if you would have some time to get together and talk with me face to face about this.
So you didn't ask.
Yeah?
You say, I'm wondering if you did not ask me.
Oh, I didn't ask. Shit. Okay. So
That's
would you be able to have a 1 hour meeting with me?
okay. Um, that's better because now I have to say yes or no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
better.
that's why I have to
Think
do
of
it because
another
they
way
could
to
do
ask. By the way, this is probably one of the reasons you're not making enough money.
because I don't ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm convinced I'm horrible at sales.
It's because you don't
Uh,
like salespeople.
huh?
It's because you already told me you don't like salespeople.
I know. I know. Great mindset, huh? For somebody who has a product.
Well, also, you're all about bias. I mean, accepting all people and yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
The irony is clear to me as it is to you.
Okay, so here's the good news and the bad news. You're a salesperson.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you might not want to box them all in just in the same way someone might box in a heavy person.
Good point. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I hear you.
Yeah. You're a salesperson with integrity versus one of the sleazy ones, okay?
That's it. So when somebody calls me on the phone and tries to, I'll say, listen, do you have integrity? If you do, I'll talk to you. I could try that.
Yeah. Well, everyone thinks they do. So it's more
Yeah.
like, um, you may want to consider just that there's a human being on the other end of the line that may have something beautiful to offer you.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. So go ahead and ask again.
So Alicia, could we meet for, let's say about an hour to talk about the potential for a partnership?
I can make time for an hour. Now, let me tell you what I think I would say something like, because you remember you're just trying to get in the door and you're still at credibility stage in the sales process.
Right.
Do you remember the sales process from Business Accelerator? That form where it shows credibility, value, is it worth it, commitment? Go back and look at that because you're just at the credibility stage. So you're asking to come and show them, can I come and show you what the market need is, show you what this product is, and show you what the possibilities are? Like, I think you're coming to show, not actually to close the deal. You keep wanting to, basically you're wanting to get married without dating.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if a man walked up to you on the street and said, hey, do you want to go have sex? How would you probably answer?
No.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how you're asking. Okay. So you want to date first. You're going to get,
Right.
Okay. Does that make sense? You're trying to close the deal. Okay.
Yeah, I am. That's because I'm so nervous about it. I'm like a geek that's like never had sex. Oh, hey, girl, you want to have sex?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's like that's why it doesn't work. It's like missing the social nuances of, let someone feel you out, let someone find out what you're about, let someone find out, what there is to offer first before you try to close the deal.
Right. Okay, here's a question.
Mhm.
Most of these people are going to be a distance away from me.
Uh-huh.
Um, so that's also when I think, I mean, at what point do I request in person, or do I just say, can I send you some stuff? I mean, how do I do
I
that?
would set
Because
up a,
most people don't
yeah.
live near me.
Well, I mean, I can add, because we're running out of time, I'm just going to answer you instead of continue to coach you.
Okay.
But I would set up a way to do presentations the same way anybody would who has to work virtually. And
Okay.
what we'd like to do is book you for a 1 hour presentation where we can show you what the market need is, where we can show you the statistics we can found, we can talk to you about the biases that we've learned exist in the marketplace and how that is actually a conversation that's being changed right now. And for the people who get ahead of it, that it's going to be a real moneymaker. So that's what I'd like to show you. And you need to have, did that make sense what I just said? And you need to
Yes.
have that set up, because that meeting is all about the value of what you've learned and what's possible for them.
Right.
Then you would make the next appointment for, let's start having conversations about how this could work for us both. So
Okay.
you're not talking
That's
about what the company's worth. You're not talking about sales. You're not talking about any of that.
okay.
Okay? Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Would
Wow.
you ask for a man that you're dating? Would you ask them for their credit report the second date? No, you would not. Okay? You're not really. Or what do you make salary? You wouldn't talk money. And okay, so just remember, you're not trying to get married. You're just
Right.
dating, and they
Right.
might not be right for you.
Right. I need to get to know them.
They need to get to know you,
Yes.
and you need to be able to show them exactly what it is you have to offer. And
Okay.
here's the deal: if you be the expert during this entire process, then when you ask for what you want, which is to be the expert, the person on the ground, you know, it's not going to be that big a deal.
Right. Because they'll be like, obviously, she knows her stuff.
Yeah, which you'll be demonstrating throughout the process.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. Thank you. This was really, really useful.
Okay.
It's
Good.
amazing.
Would you let me know how this went for you and how this is going for you? And you can email me, right?
Yes, thank you. I
Okay.
will. Yeah, I appreciate the support and the help.
You need less than you think you need. There's a lot for you to give up around that, and really, if you took full ownership of what you've created and what you're about, it's pretty moving what you've
Yeah,
caused. Even your own personal transformations through this process may be more valuable than you're realizing.
right.
Yeah.
I
So
guess I'm assuming that people aren't interested, but I can't assume that, you know?
it's crazy based on everything you've told me, and it's not worth it anymore. And that's your old way of being.
Right,
That
right,
was Joan that started the business, not Joan that's learned so much.
right.
People
Moving
are
it to the next
interested.
step.
Yeah, it's time to move on. It's time for you to recognize you have grown.
Yeah.
And so, for the whole conversation, to do a wrap up, what did you get from this conversation, and what will you do?
I got a reminder that I do know a lot of things about my subject matter and about myself that I need to remember.
Yeah.
And I got kind of an outline of how to approach speaking to these people that are now on a list that I've got going, and how to interact with them in a way that will feel natural and comfortable, hopefully to them, and will become natural and comfortable to me, which involves the initial ask for a meeting, then a presentation, and then more negotiation on if this might be a fit or not.
Okay. And if you were to say your level, what you wanted from this was a level of comfort. And so, from compared to where you were at the beginning of the conversation and where you are now, can you say something about that?
I definitely feel more comfortable. I think there's a little bit of a plan of attack there that I need to work a little more, but that's good. I mean, I appreciate the breaking down the steps and just like getting me to say something and then like, no, you're not asking,
Yeah.
ask for it. And
Yeah.
so that stuff is very helpful. Checking with my stomach, and I actually feel a little excited, which is crazy. It might be fear, but it's not sick. It's not sick
Yes.
feeling.
Excellent. That's what I want most of all. Remember that with or without me on the phone, you always have access to that.
Yeah.
Just go back to your vision and why you're doing what you're doing. because it's much larger than bikes.
Yes, it is. Yes,
All
it
right.
is.
All right.
Thank you
Much
so
love.
much, Alicia.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Be well.